Hi, everybody. I'm here today with Kate Roberts, partner at Northwest law firm DTM Legal, and one of our key partners here at FinTech North for the year. So I just want to start off by saying thanks to Kate and the team at DTM for coming on board as a partner and supporting us in the work that we do, in promoting the North as a centre of excellence in fintech, basically. So I just wanted to have a chat with Kate so that our community can get to know the law firm and get to know DTM a little bit better, and understand, some of their views on the UK fintech landscape, really. So Kate, over to you, I suppose. Could you tell us a little bit more about the DTM story and I suppose a bit more about your practice as well?
I'd be delighted to. Thanks, Joe. And first of all, thank you very much for inviting me along to come and have this chat with you. It's a great platform and a great opportunity for us to tell you and tell the FinTech North community a bit more about DTM Legal, who we are and what we do. And as you say, tell them and you about our story. So we're Northwest lawyers, a Northwest law firm, who started off in Chester back in 2008. We grew Chester, and then I wasn't there at that point in time, but they decided it would be an excellent opportunity and had their sights firmly set on Liverpool. So the Liverpool office opened in 2013, and I was one of the first to join the Liverpool office and have been here ever since, steadily growing the practice. And we now have, across the two offices, over 70 employees within the firm. Wow. And we act for numerous clients who range from individuals, owner-managed SMEs, multinationals and PLCs. So, we've got a very wide breadth of clients who span not just the Northwest, but across the UK and further afield. We very much see ourselves as a Northwest law firm and are very proud of our roots in the Northwest, but we do say, one of our specialties is that we have national expertise, and we've got a lot of talent, a lot of good lawyers and great team within the practice. We like to see ourselves as a true partner to our clients. We tailor our advice, we tailor our approach to really fit in with what our clients' way of working, what our clients' ethos and structure is, really. And we want to really be seen as an extension of their team. So, we are a law firm, we can't get away from that fact, but we massively see that our USP is tailoring that advice in a bespoke way and making us really accessible to our clients' wants, needs, and helping them on their journeys with whatever issue or problem that they have.
Well, that's fantastically segued, because it's almost like that we've almost prepared for this, I think, really. But I wanted to ask you there on that note, then, what are those challenges? What are the business issues that I suppose with regards to fintech and tech that you're finding yourself supporting your clients with then?
Well, from a fintech perspective, it's really, we've acted for fintechs from cradle, really, from start of their journey, through to taking them up to being very well known, very large PLCs with multi-million turnover. And in terms of the work that we've done, it's really getting in at the outset and getting the procedures and processes right in place so that they are able to grow. They're able to get that investment in because all of the boxes are ticked from a compliance, from a regulatory perspective, because regulation is very key in fintech now going forward with the FCA regulations. And it's really a case of making sure that from a legal perspective, every element is looked at and dealt with. So, as I say, policies and procedures, employee issues, making sure contracts with employees, contracts with third parties are right, making sure IP is protected, making sure data is dealt with in the appropriate manner. And it's really another thing as well, making sure that if there's any issues with recoverability of funds that have gone out the door and come back in, because as every business knows, cash flow is absolutely key and critical to the future success of the business going forward. So that's the type of thing we've done, and we would say we have expertise in from a fintech perspective, but it's across the board. The business has expertise in the corporate commercial side of things, dispute resolution, commercial property, business recovery, construction. You know, we're a full service law firm that like to see ourselves as able to fulfill any of our clients' needs, really.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's that full sort of life cycle of support for fintechs, really, and we all know that's such like an accelerated journey for these guys. You know.
Well, absolutely. You know, as I say, starting from the outset and getting everything right and in place, but also, you know, clients don't know when they set up these fintech businesses what direction it's going to take. So it's looking at where they want to take that going forward and making sure that there is appropriate steps in place if they want to look at succession planning, if, you know, what their ultimate exit route might be, whether that's investment in, whether it's an onward sale, you know, an MBO, who knows. You know, it's one of those things that we're able to make sure that we support them on that journey so that they're in the best possible place at that stage when it comes to any potential exit or wanting to grow and develop and get further investment in to enable them to do that.
Thank you for that, and absolutely, I would implore, you know, anybody in the community who just wants to, you know, have an exploratory chat to speak to Kate and the team at DTM. And we've had some fantastic chats about so many different aspects of fintech over the past sort of year or so, haven't we? Yeah. Just quickly then, so just thinking about the community, I suppose. You know, who in the community, I suppose, are you looking to meet and engage with? And you know, what could the FinTech North community do to kind of get involved and help you with your work, I suppose?
Well, I suppose what we're keen to do, and one of the reasons we got involved in FinTech North and, you know, joining you guys as a partner for this year and hopefully going forward, is that we're really keen to get to know everybody within the FinTech North community in the Northwest and further afield in the North, because we're just keen to meet businesses and to understand what their wants and needs are, because then that helps us focus our direction in terms of how we can show them how we can help them and help them on that journey. And we see this as a real opportunity, I suppose, to showcase the talent and expertise that there is in the Liverpool and the Northwest region for skills that we can give to FinTech North and to fintechs as a whole. We don't think fintechs need to go to London or further afield to get these professional services. You know, we're here and ready to do it. We've got the expertise, we've got the talent, and that goes for, you know, other professional services across the Northwest too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, cool. Well, that's great to hear. I mean, it's worth noting as well that you know, I think I was actually originally introduced to DTM by a contact whose business wasn't even, you know, originally founded in the UK. So, you know, that really goes to show, doesn't it, that you've got that kind of, you know, a real sort of national and indeed sort of global expertise when it comes to these things. So yeah, thanks for that. Final question then, and I know this is going to be, you know, a really good one for you, because I've had, you know, many sort of quite passionate discussions with you about some of these things over the last few months. But what for you, Kate, are the most interesting elements of fintech? And how do you see them sort of progressing over the next few years?
Well, I think one of the key interests I've got in fintech is gamification, and it's one of the key reasons why we were really excited to be able to sponsor the upcoming event in Liverpool on gamification in fintech. As I say, that's a real interest for me, because I see it sort of being a 180 from fintech originally being used in gaming, and, you know, gaming's founded well in Liverpool. We've got a really good history of gaming here, and throughout, you know, my experience as a parent, seeing gaming and seeing fintech being utilised in gaming in terms of the copious amounts of money that's been added onto various games for digital currencies to be utilised across that platform, gaming add-ins, to see us looking at gamification in fintech, as I say, flipping it 180 and seeing the gaming concepts being used in a very ethical way, a way to sort of promote financial education, a way to promote responsible spending, a way to look at sustainability, even to be able to monitor your carbon footprint in terms of that spending, and really to look at, I suppose, increasing customer engagement and teaching people about what their spending habits are and being able to manage their money in a way that, I don't want to say makes it fun as such, but actually makes it very accessible and very inclusive, because sometimes people can be frightened of finance. Sometimes people, you know, can really struggle to get to grips on what it is they're spending their money on. Why is it that there's nothing left at the end of the month? Why are they not able to put anything away in savings? And I think that the gamification in the fintech world, making apps where it's accessible, it's inclusive, it's responsible, I see that as a real way forward. And I see that as something that is only going to increase over time. So, you know, the high street banks are getting behind it now, and they're having to look at ways to put this type of thing on a platform where their customers can engage. You know, I think that's what we see happening now. The education, the financial education of fintech and the like, I see that as being another key development going forward. You know, there are apps, I think, for my children have them, and the Go Henry type cards where you can teach them about finance, you can teach them about having to earn pocket money through chores, and you know, they can have a handle on what they've got, how much they've got left, what cap they've got for their spend that week or that month. And that's, you know, encouraging financial responsibility from an early age and teaching children about the value of money as well. And I can see that increasing over time. And I can see, again, some of the high street banks are bringing out their own apps in that sense and bringing out their own products to get children on board. And it'd be really good to see, I suppose, more of that going on in the schools as well. And then I suppose finally, one that's a bit more out there, but I can see it coming, is the use of the metaverse in fintech. And I think that we're starting to see that now, or certainly people are looking into it in terms of a concept in fintech, and I think that's going to grow. You know, some people might see that as quite frightening in some respects, because it's, you know, if we go back to when I was a lot younger, it's something that you kind of saw in films and thought, no, that's a bit out there. But you know, the Oculus type things, that the metaverse that the children are using at the moment, and I can really see that fintechs are going to have to get behind looking at ways to include that on their platform, with some sort of AI as well, in terms of the services that are given, the know your client checks, the biometrics, that sort of thing, I think is something that's coming as well.
Absolutely, it's coming down the track, whether we're sort of you know, ready for it or like it or not. I think,
Absolutely.
I think I heard it said quite well by somebody that, you know, you know, I'm not lucky enough to have kids at the minute, but you know, I think whilst all the adults were sort of on Zoom and Teams over lockdown, a lot of the children were kind of already playing in the metaverse, and we're kind of, you know,
absolutely. My children both have the Oculuses, and does, you know, it's quite bizarre, but it's something we've all got to get our heads around, and we've got to be ready for it. You know, we don't want to be left behind just because we're a little bit older than those who are really comfortable using it, really. So
absolutely not. Well, listen, I'm really looking forward to having another sort of cutting edge discussion with yourself and you know, with everybody in the community in Liverpool on the 13th of October, which is when we're hosting the event, exploring the links between, you know, both sectors, fintech and gaming, and you know, exploring commonalities and differences between the two. So yeah, I'll make sure that we include some of the information for that event as part of this news story as well. And I'll probably bring it to a close there, and thank you for your time and you know, sharing your opinion on some of these things, and of course thank you for your support as a partner as well. It was brilliant chatting with you.
Thank you, Joe. You too. I'm looking forward to the event.